from this conference, I learned that anyone can be a leader. And I kind of had an idea of what a leader was, but this conference really showed me the true meaning of it and what it takes to be a leader. And there are different kinds of leaders. It's not just someone who leads the rest, I guess. I mean, that's the big thing about it, but there are different types, which is not what I was expecting. I think I'm really going to think about our friendship. We've all made a big relationship with one another, and before this trip, I mean, I knew people in this group and I knew who everyone was, and I really love how we did a Bible study going up to this point, because then we were able to get to know each other even better. And this trip really brought us together, like better than I thought it would do. It's something where you didn't experience it alone, so you have someone to talk to about it, you know, and it's not so much, I mean, yeah, I'll tell my parents about it and I'll tell my other friends about it, but these people that I experienced it with, they can relate to me and they can understand exactly what I'm saying. And it's not so much just hearing about my stories, but they experienced the stories along with me, and that was great. I don't know, I'm grateful that I was able to experience this. Like I said, not alone, but with others as well.
So,
and
basically what I learned from this conference was a lot about my own personal leadership, being able to use my newfound personality to work well with others, learning new leadership tactics and whatnot. Probably what I'm going to take back is just the fact that I can use these within my own groups at school, like student council. I can use them in show choir. I can use them in choir in general. Just using these new leadership skills in different groups that I'm involved in. And just using all those and figuring out what my real story is. That was the theme of the conference, was, what's your story?
I learned a lot of things this past week at Student Leadership Conference. But besides the things that I learned, I also made lifelong friendships, and I'm really happy about that. But some of the things that I learned is not only how to be a leader, but also it consists of being a leader in all things you do. So not just when it comes to group activities, but when you're just like seeing someone by themselves or being alone, you just go up to them and be a friend that they might need. Another thing I learned is that a leader doesn't necessarily mean the person who says the instructions the loudest. It means a person that listens to other people's opinions and takes those into consideration when helping to create a plan. And I think that's pretty important, because oftentimes we think that a leader is the person that's, you know, the most like outgoing, but it doesn't have to be like that. It just has to be the person that, you know, is respectful and cares about everyone. And that's
something that I'm gonna take back to South Dakota with me is just how to love others and be a friend to everyone and show others how to be a leader, not only in the church environment but also at school, because I think it's so hard to stand out and be yourself like in your high school today. You just want to be like everyone else, and as like you can be like everyone else, but there's different ways to do that and to still like preach God's word.
This weekend was really fun. I learned a lot, like not only about like others like in our group and like relationships with them, but like when it comes to our shape and leadership roles. One thing that I learned was like when you're a leader, you're not necessarily like leading a group. It's more than that. Like it's just, yeah. And that like the people around you and like your story like makes you like the kind of leader that you are, and we're all different kinds of leaders, and that's like what makes like us whole. And one thing I'll take away is like it's important to like have like a support system and good people like around you, and like that really like impacts you. And so like this group is like really good at that, and I like that, and I want to like keep relationships with all of them. And another thing that your story and your past is good, and it like helps you to be a better person.
When we came here, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but when we got here, I think that kind of the overall thing of what I learned is there's like everyone there was supposed to be a leader, but there's ways that you can definitely advance your leadership, and anyone can be a leader, really. I mean, as long as you have different specific qualities and you advance those, anyone can be a leader, anyone can lead in any specific ways. And I think that us as Good News learned a lot about kind of where we as the 9 people who came along want to be on our own and in our group, but also as a whole youth group. I think we learned a lot about kind of where we can see ourselves in the future and how we want to direct ourselves through different things through high school, and definitely through preparing ourselves through a college education, keeping with God throughout our young lives. Because I think oftentimes people tell us that you just put off your leadership skills until after you're through college, and when you settle down, then you can start being a Christian and start being a leader. But I think that doesn't need to be. It needs to be now, so that we can lead other people, that we can lead ourselves, so that once we get to that point, our relationship is that strong. So I think overall, I think I learned a lot about how that anyone can be a leader and anyone can develop these skills to lead others.